What's up guys, it's the Horror Wombat, and I just went and saw Nosferatu, the newest film from modern horror legend Robert Eggers, who also made The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman, which isn't a horror movie, but hey, he made it. And now the newest addition to his filmography is Nosferatu, a remake of the silent film by filmmaker F.W. Murnau, which came out all the way back in 1922. It was literally the first vampire movie ever made. That's actually pretty wild. So this remake follows an estate agent named Thomas Hutter, who's played by Nicholas Hoult, and he goes to Transylvania to meet with the mysterious Count Orlok. While this is happening, his wife Ellen is plagued by horrific visions and an increasing sense of dread, until she soon encounters an evil force that is far beyond her control. Now, as a kid, my first introduction to Nosferatu was the same introduction that every kid had to Nosferatu. You know, that scene in the hash-slinging slasher episode of SpongeBob where he was revealed to be the one flickering the lights on and off? Nosferatu! So before going into this movie, I decided to watch the original Nosferatu for the very first time. That's right, I have never seen it before until now. And despite it being really old, it's got some really cool camera shots, good pacing at just 85 minutes long, and a really easy to understand story that's also interesting. But it does go without saying that some of the editing choices really do show the movie's age. Like this scene of Count Orlok putting himself in a coffin and being pulled away by horses. It just looks so goddamn goofy. But whatever, man. Technology isn't the same as it was back then. And because of that, going into this new Nosferatu movie, I was basically hoping for a new retelling of the story that honors the film that came prior to it, while also introducing new ideas that are unique and interesting because of the modern movie technology we have today. And thankfully, that's exactly what I got here. This is a really good movie, guys. Probably the most stunning looking horror movie of the whole year. I am so sorry for butchering your name, sir, but Jarin Blaschke, the cinematographer of this movie who also worked on Robert Eggers' other films, he expertly captures the gothic feel of 1830s Europe with his use of old lenses and filters. I wouldn't be surprised if he got another Oscar nomination for his cinematography, just like he did with The Lighthouse. It is that good. In fact, while we're on the subject of the 1830s, it should come as no surprise that Robert Eggers was probably the most obvious choice for this movie. This guy has made nothing but period pieces. In fact, including this movie, the most modern film Eggers has made is The Lighthouse, and that movie takes place in the 1890s. But he also has a really cool style of direction in his films, and he uses that to greatness in this movie. Some really beautiful direction here. I can see why he's regarded as one of the best directors working in the horror genre today. The acting in this movie is also really good. First of all, Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok. Good God, man. I love how Robert Eggers is just getting all the Skarsgård actors to star in his movies now, because his last film, The Northman, starred Alexander Skarsgård. Just a funny coincidence, I guess. But anyways, back to Bill. I saw some complaints online saying that they're tired of seeing Bill Skarsgård play the same kind of creepy characters every time. You know, Pennywise, The Crow, even his character in Barbarian is kind of like that. Yeah, there's a reason why he keeps playing all these characters. His performance is really haunting in this movie. I think he honored the legacy of Tim Curry with his portrayal of Pennywise, and he does it again here by honoring Max Schreck. And his design is really unique too. Going into this movie, I was expecting it to look something like this, but that's not at all what he looked like. And the filmmakers are actually trying to keep his identity a secret, because you cannot find any clear pictures of what Count Orlok looks like in this movie. So to respect the filmmakers, I won't reveal what he looks like in this movie, but whatever you think it might be, it's probably not what you're expecting. All I'll say is that he highly resembles a famous European military leader. All the other actors in this movie are also really good too. Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Willem Dafoe in his now third collaboration with Robert Eggers. Everyone is really damn good in this movie. There is not a single bad performance in this film. Also, I saw some people say that this movie is actually pretty horny. No, I'm saying the movie is acting horny, not me. Stop! And in regards to those comments, I can definitely see where they're coming from. Robert Eggers is not afraid to have nudity in his films. I mean, for God's sakes, there's a scene in The Northman where two naked guys are fighting on an active volcano. I'm not even joking. And Nosferatu isn't really that much different. In fact, there's a pretty gross sex scene in this movie. So, heads up to those who don't like that shit, I guess. In regards to flaws, I think the second act of this movie does move pretty slowly to a point where it can get boring for me. I wouldn't say it's like Longlegs levels of boring, but I do wish it was a bit more eventful. But to be honest, that's really the only flaw I have with this movie. This is a gorgeous looking horror movie with great acting and some really cool ideas, all while respecting the legacy of the source material. Now, is it the best vampire movie I've ever seen? I think the only competition really for me is From Dusk Till Dawn, but honestly, I don't really think it's fair to compare those two movies. Aside from both of them having vampires, they are completely different movies. One is a very active action movie that pays homage to older B movies, while the other is a slow art house film that's also like a romantic thriller. I'll definitely need some time to decide about that. But yeah, Nosferatu is one of the best horror movies of the year, and it's definitely a big recommend from me. Let me know what you guys think of the movie if you've already seen it. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button for more videos like this. I've got one more video planned for this year, so definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope everyone had a happy holiday, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.